What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Today, we're breaking down episode number 9 of season 43 of Survivor. And when we left off with last week, Janine was voted out, and we come back with kind of everybody getting back to camp. Sammy kind of tells us, he's like, look, I wanted to take a bigger shot at that 7 that they kind of had worked out there, but the numbers just weren't there, and he had to go with Janine, and it was what it was. Owen was the only one who was left out of the vote, and he was really mostly pissed off at James for saying it was going to be Ryan when it was Janine. He's like, look, I kind of offered it up. I was like, look, if it's Janine, tell me it's Janine, and I'll vote Janine. Like, I don't care. Just let me know. And James also has a really good point, though, right? Because Owen's pissed at James, but the whole thing is Owen has voted for him. Owen has written his name down at Tribal. So it really does come down to which one is worse, right? Is it lying about, who the actual vote is for? Or is it writing somebody's name down at Tribal? I think that one's a little bit worse, right? Like, I understand where Owen's like, yeah, I'm just trying to work with you now, but you did write his name down. And for James, I feel like he could do a better job of maybe playing with Owen a little bit, being like, look, Dan, no, I totally understand, right? But I don't know. These two just oil and water, they're not mixing, and it's going to come back big later on down the line as well. Then we kind of jump right into the immunity challenge, which is immunity / reward, because it's a little bit of a twist on this one. It was that, hold the ball up with the bar. You push the bar up. It holds the ball, and last one standing will win immunity. Except we're breaking into 2 different groups. We were going to have 2 winners of the immunity. We're going to have 2 different tribals. Last team standing gets PB&J. Also, I want to make note, when Jeff first brought them in, did anybody else notice his kind of weird accent medieval way he did it? It was like, feast your eyes on what awaits you on day 17 of Survivor 43. It was like, Jeff, what are you doing? Like, are you auditioning for some Shakespeare thing or something? I don't know. It was really weird to me. I don't know if anybody else caught that. But what were the groups? So I actually have them listed here with who was in each group. We've got Cody, Jesse, Ryan, Gabler, and Cassidy. They were in the first group. Then we've got Carla, James, Sammy, Noel, and Owen. They were in the second group. People were dropping like flies. You really need that constant and consistent pressure on that bar, because any little bit can give that ball room to roll, and you can lose a lot of ground quickly, or that thing can start shooting out before you even realize, because you're not pushing hard against that ball. Carla ends up winning immunity in her group, and with stitches in her hand and all. Great work, great job from Carla. Way to tough it out. But couldn't hold on for reward. Cody and Ryan end up battling it out for immunity over on that side. It was a great effort from the both of them. Cody ends up pulling it off, meaning that group gets PB&J, and they also get the advantage of seeing the result of who goes home during Tribal, which is also kind of an interesting thing, and comes up here with Cody and Jesse on how they were planning on voting. Didn't turn out that way, but we'll get to that. We do get the first name that's thrown out, and that's Cassidy's name by Ryan and Gabler. What do Cody and Jesse think, though? They're not 100% sure. Cassidy says to Jesse that it should be Ryan, but Cody's kind of playing it coy. Like, he's not being very committal with her, like 100%. Like, yeah, it's gonna be Ryan. We should do Ryan. And Cody and Jesse, they kind of talk it over. They think it through, and they're not really sure what's the best option with Cassidy or Ryan, since there's benefits for both of them. So they kind of think what could be good is to react what the first vote is. So if Owen is sent in the first tribal, they would send Ryan, who's just a big comp threat, and it would be easy to do that. If James were to go, though, James being Carla's closest ally, if they could get rid of James and then send Cassidy, Carla's kind of on her own, and then they can, pull her in more. So that was kind of an interesting little thought process they had there. Meanwhile, over on the old Vesey camp, because that's where the other group was sent, Carla has immunity, and Carla and James are kind of both thinking Owen right off the bat. Then there was Noelle and Sammy, and they seem like they're on board. Then we get this confrontation that happens at the well, where Owen's just like, what do I got to do, man? Like, what is it? Like, what's got to happen? Like, and he's like, oh, James goes, oh, it's all my fault, throws his hands up in the air, and they're like walking back to camp. They're trying to talk this out on like, like, why didn't you just tell me it was Janine? I would have voted Janine. And then, you don't want to work with me, but you wrote my name down. And it was this kind of like awkward back and forth. They get back to the camp while they're kind of like discussing this. It's getting more heated as it goes. And I just really love Noelle's face while this is all going on. Like, she's got her back to them and she's like, eat my papaya. Anybody want some papaya? It was great. But after this, Noelle tells James, she says, hey, look, I'm going to use my steal a vote on Owen. And then he doesn't even have a vote, and then we just vote Owen out. James is like, great. But then she goes and tells Sammy and Owen that she's going to steal Owen's vote, but she's using it to write down James's name, meaning that if Sammy votes with her, that's 3 votes on James. Wild plan, because here's the thing. James has the knowledge is power advantage, right? So there was potential that he could say to Noelle, like, oh, Noelle, do you have an advantage? Let me get that. And then steal Owen's vote, and they do it and vote Owen. But since she's like trusting in him and saying, no, like I'm going to do this and we're going to send Owen out, since she's using it on Owen and trusting in him to tell him that, he's believing, oh, she's going to vote out Owen, when they're really just blindsiding him, which is just wild. Sammy wants to work with Carla, and he does go to her and try and convince her to do James. Does this end up being enough to give James the idea that, hey, maybe he should take the knowledge and power? We never see her talk to James about it. She just kind of goes with like, why would I send James? Like, he's one of my numbers, right? Like, why would that make any sense for me when I know Owen's not a number for me? And Sammy really tries to convince her, but I don't actually know if he actually was, because here's the thing. We get the tribal and things get wild there too as well. It starts getting, we get Noelle doing like a recap of what happened at the confrontation at camp. And that was just kind of great, where she was like, he had his hands in the air. I was offering papaya. But then after that, it starts to get a little bit heated again, and she just shuts them down. She's like, all right, there's too much testosterone going on right now. Let's settle down. Let's get to the vote. Because here's the thing. She was excited. She was ready to play that steal a vote. She wanted to get to that vote as quickly as possible. And she had it in her hand. She was fiddling with it. And she's like, it's time to vote, Jeff? Like, it's time to vote, right? He's like, yeah, do you have an advantage there? I see, huh? She does steal Owen's vote, which I actually forgot. She only has, because she went on the journey with Owen and James, and they let her have it. They were like, yeah, no, like you can have it, as like an olive branch. So now she's using it on Owen and potentially voting James, which is wild, absolutely wild story there. Just how that comes full circle. James does not use his knowledge as power advantage. He was trusting in Noelle. It really kind of comes down to what Sammy decides to do. Is he willing to cut James and think that Carla will be on his side? And I feel like for him, it just makes sense. Yeah, get rid of James. You can slot yourself in as the number one for Carla. And even if she's not willing to do that and she doesn't trust you going forward, you still have plenty of numbers over here now with these other guys. Like, you should be really good. And it does end up going down with James, who will sit and watch the next tribal with Janine as part of the jury, because James does get voted out. The tribe has spoken. Just what a turn there. And he kind of was like, he went out like, all right, I guess that's respect, huh? We'll see how far you guys get. We'll see how you do. he was not too happy, and definitely blindsided by that one. So that moves on to the next tribal, and really it was a quick and easy tribal. But the only question I really had coming out of it was, did Ryan say he has 30 pounds of clams in his bag? He's just lugging around 30 clams, 30 pounds of clams in his backpack. Just, yeah, I'm going to take that with me if I get voted out, just so you guys know. It's like, what? Who puts clams in their backpack, dude? Like, I don't understand. But anyway, it was quick and easy, and Ryan was actually the one to get voted out, which goes against that plan to react to the situation. They just kind of send out the strongest competition threat they could, because I feel like they just think like, Cassidy, what you gonna do? So what happens now? And actually, we can update our little graphic here just so we can get a little better idea and kind of talk about this. So Carla, a lot of people might assume like Carla's looking like she might be in a little bit of danger coming up here because she just lost pretty much her biggest ally in James. But weirdly, I think this could be a little bit of a blessing for Carla. The longer James was there, the more people were going to see them as a duo, as a pair. So by having this kind of happen, and her hands are kind of clean of it, she didn't really do it to him. She kind of was in on it a little bit. She might have been getting a little bit of a heads up from Sammy. I just think overall she's finding herself in a very good spot where a lot of people are still wanting to work with her. Plus, she has an idol that nobody knows about, which is great. Meanwhile, you have Sammy, who I think also comes out of this looking great. I think him and Carla can still kind of work together. Him and Owen still have a bond there, which I still don't know why Owen wasn't mad at him more, because he knew about the vote. He just kind of played it off like, yeah, they told me right before. Which, yeah, if I was James, you throw Sammy under the bus, like, your boy over here knew. He knew the entire time. I didn't tell you. You're still working with him. So still, I think Sammy finds himself in a good spot. He's got good work, working relationship with Owen, Noel. He wants to work with Carla. We'll see if that kind of still goes. I don't think Cassidy's somebody that he really has to worry about. And I always got the vibe that him, Cody, and Jesse were all pretty cool too. Now, Cody and Jesse, though, seem like they're going to be ones that have a big target on them going forward. Jesse does have an idol that nobody knows about. It was actually Janine's idol, which is going to be crazy when he plays that and he goes, hey, Janine, remember this? Because Janine doesn't even know that he has it. She doesn't know. She gave it to Dwight and assumed that Dwight had it. Dwight handed it off to Jesse last minute, right before Tribal. And no one else knows. I don't even know if Cody knows. Cody has an idol that Noel doesn't know about, but I think almost everybody else knows about because of the beads. So I think at this point she probably knows, but you can basically say that Cody has an idol that everybody is aware of. So those are the three idols that we still have floating around. Cody, Jesse, and Carla. Meanwhile, this game, I think, is just going to get crazy going forward. It's kind of blown wide open, and I'm here for the ride. This was a great episode. I loved it. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, smash that like button and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, you never miss a stream. I keep saying it, but I will be getting the Twitch back up and running. I just haven't really been giving it the time and the attention that it needs. So I will be doing that. So keep an eye out for that. Links for all of my socials are in the description. Twitch, Twitter, which who knows what's going on with Twitter. You can check out my Discord, which probably could be the most guaranteed place to find me. All those links are in the description and pinned comment down below. You can follow all that. And thank you guys just so much for watching. I appreciate all the love and support, and I will see you next time.